Good morning, I'm Sunetra Choudhury, political editor of the Hindustan Times, bringing you all that you need to know about COVID-19 on Wednesday, the 3rd of June. First up, a look at the numbers. In just the last 24 hours, we've seen 8,892 new cases. That's almost 9,000 new cases. But the big story right now is that at the end of 3 months since the coronavirus came to India, we have now crossed the 2 lakh mark. Now, 1 lakh of these 2 lakh cases are still active cases, which means the good news is that 1 lakh people in the country have recovered from the coronavirus. The death rate has also fallen. In fact, it has fallen even less than 3%, and the global average is about 6% to 2.82% in India. Now, out of these 2 lakh cases, perhaps it's important to note that 57%, more than half of these cases, are concentrated in Tamil Nadu, in Maharashtra, and in the capital, Delhi. Now, where do we stand when compared to numbers across the world? Well, we are now at number 7. So out of the top 10 worst hit countries, we stand at number 7, which means that we are now much worse than Germany and France, which had initially been hit very hard, but we've now overtaken them. We are still behind Italy. We're just the next after Italy, so Italy's at number 6, and the UK. But Russia, what's interesting is that Russia is following the same trajectory as us, and Russia, even though much higher, has a much lesser death rate. In fact, it has 4 lakh cases and only 5,000 deaths have taken place so far in Russia. So it's interesting to note how each of these countries and what kind of case trajectory they are taking. Now, a new study has been published in Lancet, which maps out exactly the kind of protective gear we use and which of them is most effective, including social distancing. They're now pointing out that the further away you are, the lesser chances that there is of you getting infected. So 2 meters is perhaps the best amount of distance that you can keep from anyone who may be the source of infection. Also, what it says is that while all of these gears, whether it is eye protective gear, mask, social distancing, all of them are effective. However, what is most effective is to use a combination of them instead of just using one of them. They also point out exactly the kind of chances of falling ill if you use a mask. So if you're using a mask, the chances of you getting infected is only 3%, but without the mask, it's as high as 17%. Also, the study points out, and this is important because a lot of us have been using homemade masks or ones that are makeshift masks like a bandana. They point out that multi-layered masks are much more effective in stopping infection than a single-layered mask. So all of these findings in the Lancet can be very, very useful to us. Finally, just a couple of weeks ago, we reported how Wuhan was seeing a new spurt of cases, perhaps a new cluster. Well, soon after that, city authorities decided that they are going to test everyone. And so in less than 3 weeks, in just about 2 weeks, they have conducted 10 million tests. These are nucleic acid tests on all its residents. What is fascinating about it is that in these tests that they conducted, there was not a single case, a single confirmed case. What they did find were 300 people who were silent spreaders, that they were asymptomatic, and so they have been isolated, which shows that only about 0.003% people had those chances of being spreaders in Wuhan. So that just puts at rest, and globally everybody was watching to see whether there would be a second wave of cases in Wuhan from where the coronavirus originated. But it seems that for now is not something to be concerned about. Well, those are the news updates for now. Keep tracking them on HindustanTimes.com.